Hey guys, welcome back. Maya Rigging 101 part 4 already. So in case you missed the last one, it was about the spine, and before that about the forearm twist, and before that we did the legs. Today I want to focus on muscles and finishing the controllers, pretty much finishing everything. Hopefully also the eyes, we'll get to that as well, hopefully. After that we can actually move on to the next part, which will be the skin binding and the weight painting, which will be a pain in the ass on its own, so let's hope we'll actually get there. Would be very cool. So today's main focus will be about muscles and how they can preserve or help you to preserve volumes, especially for, like example, here in the chest at the pecs or pectoralis major, neck muscle here, trapezium, also the lats or the Latissimus Dorsi, and the neck muscle here, the major one here. It can really help to preserve volume or to make things appear a bit more realistic, especially this one here, the neck, the big one here. It's just cool. Let's just face it, it's just really cool as well. So we're going to focus on that part today. We're going to finish the head, we're going to add the eye there as well, etc. Give the fingers some controls so we can actually bend them properly without doing any weird stuff. And after that we'll move on to the eye, skin binding, and the whole shebang, right? So, okay. So how do you do muscles? Well, Maya has muscles themselves, but you can't use them in any game engine. So they're pretty much limited to Maya itself. So if you want to do something for a game, you can't really use them. So you have to make fake muscle or muscle joints in this case. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to call this muscles, probably muscles. I like caps, so let's do it red. Okay. So muscles are nothing more than joints that follow the path that the muscle would take. So for example the pecs that will be here. For example, when you extend your arm forward, you get this part over here that actually moves with the forearm itself. So you get this muscle extruding outwards of the body. Same goes for the neck here and this one here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them first. So I'm going to make a joint here. I'm going to go roughly from, let's do it from like here-ish to next to the nipple, pretty much, to there, and that's it, nothing more. Then we're going to move it, of course, to where it should be. Let's see where it should be. Maybe here-ish. Grab this one then, and move this one to the side, there-ish. So what we want to have, or what we want to achieve, is that this one, when the muscle starts, when the forearm starts moving forward, this would just rotate like this forward with it. That's it. That's all what we want to do with it. And it really helps to preserve the volumes in the pecs themselves. So I'm gonna quickly orientate joint a little bit lower here. There you go. That's one. So let's call this pectoralis 1, and this would be pectoralis 2. Once you save it for now, let's add it to the actual proper layer and select the objects. There we go. So it turns red as well. This looks pretty. Okay, so let's go towards the side view again. So we can do this muscle here, the big one over there, the neck muscle, which starts around here and goes all the way down to there. Let's move it to the side. There you go. Maybe it's one a bit too big, so let's scale down a little bit. Let's do 0.3. Same goes for this one here as well. And this one should end up here-ish. And this one should be a little bit more here. So what we want to do with this one is that when the head turns, rotates, that this one will actually follow the head and creates this very distinct muscle shape for it. I don't know what it's called top of my head, so I'm going to call this neck muscle 1. And this will be neck muscle 2. There you go. I should add an underscore. There you go. And let's go to the back now for this one right here, the trapezium, which starts around here-ish. Actually, let's do it from here. Let's do it from here, and let's end it there. Again, roughly, doesn't have to be that exact for this, which helps. And then this one should be there. Let's move a little bit to the right. There we go. Again, add it to the proper layer. This would be, let's call this trapezium 1, and then trapezium 2. There you go. And let's do one more, which will be the Latissimus Dorsi. Let's go to the back. This is a huge muscle, so it's very visible when you start deforming your character. Let's do it from here till there, roughly. And let's move it towards the back. There we go. Let's grab this one. Should be here-ish. Maybe even higher a little bit. Something like here. So when the character moves his back, so for example when the character raises his arms, this would be going up with the arm itself, and then you would get this very clear and distinct cobra back, which is what we want for this case. So I'm gonna move a little bit towards the middle. There you go. Okay, so let's call this Lat. It's a worse name, so I'm gonna call Lat. I think it's Latissimus 1, top of my head. Could be mistaken, but let's just leave it at that, right? So, okay, so let's hide the character. So we've got these 4 muscles. We're gonna mirror it. So skeleton. Oh, mirror joints. There it is. There you go. Same here. Mirror joint, mirror joint, mirror joint. Make sure that everything's placed correctly. So evenly spaced they are. Okay. This should then be set prefix L underscore. So they both now have an L underscore to it. Same here. Modify again L underscore. Same here. It's a bit boring, but you get the idea. And L underscore. Then this should be 1 and 2. This is the downside that it adds up. R. This part is a bit boring, as you can see, but yeah, we'll live. And last but not least, and again set prefix. Oh crap. Or there we go. So everything is now called left or right. Double check, of course. I think I did, yeah, properly. There we go. Okay, so now how do we get these to move with the actual rig itself? That's a bit more challenging. And for that we need to add a couple of things that we've not used before yet, so I'm going to show you what. It's a thing called a locator. Press here, actually adds one in on 000. This is nothing more than a simple dummy that you can attach things to. It's actually really helpful, especially for things like this, when you want to create like muscles. In this case I'm going to place it inside my joint here. There you go. See, it's not that difficult. And then I want this one, the number 2, to follow this one, and this one should follow the arm itself, right? So how can you do that? Well, we can't just parent it, because then it would just fuck up everything, because if we were to parent this one, then the arm would lose its parenting system, so it will become a child of this, for example, so it will fuck up. But what we can do is just add a constraint to it, so you can add a constraint parent. There you go. So this is now a child of that joint. So when we move the arm, you can actually see it starts following the arm perfectly. But this one, we need to do a little bit differently, because we can't just parent it to it, because then only this joint would actually move with it, and I kind of want to have it all move with them. So we're gonna grab this one now, the locator, and then this one, and then I'm gonna point constrain it. So what happens? So now the joint would actually follow, as you can see, the entire arm. Now when you move it forward, you can see the exactly thing that I kind of want to have happen is that the joint actually starts following and creating this nice extrusion on its chest, which is perfect. So this one we can just parent it to this. It's fine. You can just hit child parent and just hit P. That works fine, like this. Because then when you grab this one, everything would still move with it, which is perfectly valid. You can also use just a point constraint again to that one. That works fine as well. So it's up to you really what you want to do. Both work fine. See, it works perfectly natural. So with the locators, you can actually do more things that you thought you could. So I'm gonna name this lock for locator. Let's do this. Packs. So this one is just for the packs, and we can do the same method for the other ones. So let's do that as well actually. So this one belongs to the head, right? So when the head rotates, we also want the this one to rotate. But we don't have a head controller yet, so I'm gonna keep it for now. Just gonna leave it for a little minute. So let's first do the this one here, the Latissimus Dorsi. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go to my backside and I'm gonna add a new locator. Locator right here. Now it's actually rather important where you add this locator. You just can't add it here and then expect everything to work properly. So you need to think a little bit about it, what would happen. So I'm gonna place this one around the same as this one, here-ish. It doesn't have to be that exact, but just you have to give it some thought behind it, like this one. And then again, you can just parent constrain it. So first joint, then the locator, and then again parent. That will work fine. And let's call this the lock lot. Let's add these actually to the muscles. There you go. There you go. So then you can constrain this one to that one, or other way around. So grab the locator first and then the joint, and then hit constraint and point. So then when the arm moves, the joint moves with it. There you go. Of course you can do it a little bit more hardcore if you want to. You can make it go like half the percent, so then when you move the arm, it only moves with half of it. That's fine, it works as well. It's up to you, really. But then you also get this really nice movement towards the back for the shoulders, see? Which is what I want to have, same here. So let's again do the same thing here. So first the child, then the parent, and then just hit P on the keyboard. There you go. Then the muscles added there as well. So let's do the same for the other side. So let's go back view again. Or front view doesn't really matter that much which one you use. Let's go front first. Let's add locator here. What actually works really well is just place it on top of the other one first. So I think it was this one. And just move to the other side. There you go. Left view this time. It should be there. So they're almost the same on the same location. Okay, so joint, locator, and parent. Locator, joint, point. Let's call this. Oh, we should actually be a little bit more exact. So R pecs. This should be L pecs. To be a little bit more exact. L pecs. There we go. Then again, child. Parent P. So there you go. Now it starts getting looking really funky, the rig, which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. I mean, you don't have to do it like this. Of course, you can do a different method as well, but this one works. Let me put it that way. So see, nice joint movement there, like this. Good. And the back one as well. So again, I'm gonna place it roughly around the same area as the previous one. So I'm gonna hit locator, gonna grab it, place it roughly on the other one. Again, doesn't have to be exact, but it just looks prettier. And then left view, same again here. I think it's this one. There you go. And then just move it to the other side, like so. Brilliant. So again, joint, locator, parent, locator, joint, point, child, parent, P. Pretty sweet if I say so myself, so let's check it out. If everything follows perfectly, it does. Although this looks a little painful what's happening here with the arms, but yeah. It will probably work out okay, although this would look very painful. But it's something we'll just see what happens, right? If it doesn't work, we can always change it. That's the benefit of doing things like this. You can always change stuff. So let's add it. There you go. So next up would be to create the controller for the head, so we can actually rotate it. Rotate, which would be very helpful. How you do it, that doesn't really matter though. You can just add a giant sphere if you want to with something that actually rotates, or a cube or whatever. It doesn't really matter that much as long as the pivot point is the same on the head. So here. So you could make a giant controller, a giant sphere if you want to, but let's think of something that actually would look cool. What would work? Well, the actual mesh would work, but it's a bit harsh. Let's make a sphere, right? So a polygon sphere this time. Just gonna make it like this. I'm gonna go for 888. There you go. Maybe rotate it. First, let's place it over the head itself. So let's go to front view for a minute. Wireframe mode, and then just place it on the actual joint. There you go. That will work fine. But it's this is really stupid. But yeah, let's make it a little bit smaller, and we're gonna go to Attribute Editor, and then the P-sphere shape 1. Have another mistake, and then it's Object Display, Drawing Overrides, Enable Overrides, Turn off Shading. There you go. Now we got the controller for the head. I'm gonna move it up. It's a little bit more obvious to see that it's the actual controller, and then we're gonna change the pivot again. There you go. I mean, you don't have to do it like this. You can use anything you want to, but this just looks really weird. Actually, this looks really weird. I'm gonna use a simple curve, simple circle. This looks a little bit too weird for my tasting. Like that. Brilliant. Let's hide the mesh. Make our life a little bit easier. And then snap it towards the joint. This one. This would be control head. There you go. Let's add to the control list. And freeze transformations. So I want this one to pretty much control everything. Both the both rotation of the Y rotation and the X rotation. Don't think there's a Z. What's the Z? Oh, well, all pretty much everything. So we can grab this one, then the joint, and then I'm gonna constrain it with an orient constraint. There you go. So now the rotate, it will follow everything perfectly. Let's unhide the mesh again. There it is. Yeah, this looks useful, right? Okay. Then we're gonna do the same thing for both the muscles here. We're gonna add locator. You can add 2 locators if you want to for this one here and here, to make things a little bit more cleaner, because this looks like a mess right now, as you can imagine. So you can do it a little bit differently. You can also add 2 locators here. I'll show you how. So add locator. It's the first one. We're just gonna add it. We're not gonna do anything with it so far, but I'm just gonna add it here. Locator. I'm gonna duplicate it and snap it to this one here. There you go. So 2 locators here. Let's change it. Let's change it a little bit. Scale. I'm gonna scale down a little bit. There you go. So you can constrain the joint to this one here. You can actually just parent it. That's fine. And then you can parent this one again to the controller. So you can hit the controller and then again parent it. That's fine. So that will work fine, as you can see. Except for the joint itself won't actually move. Right, so that just failed miserably. For a simple reason that you can't, that you'll break the entire parenting system again. So I'm gonna grab this one. Oh, I think I did it all the way around. One sec. Oh, undo it. I think I fucked it up the first time. Yeah. Parent. I did. Well, that's helpful. So, okay. Let's do this one as well. Let's scale it down. And controller, child, and point. This should be a point constraint. Keep that in mind. And then we can constrain this one, probably to this here, because this is the this is the actual chest. See, yeah, but you can also constrain it to the joint over here, which is fine as well. So I'm gonna do that actually. So the clavicle, so I'm gonna grab the clavicle, and then the locator again, and then point constrain it. Then it should work properly. So let's check it. So it still looks fine. Rotates properly. This way as well. But when we move the entire character, it should still move, as you can see. So that works fine. We just need to make sure that if we rotate this one, or if we rotate anything, that this is the parent of this one. So I'm going to do it right now. So this one is now the parent of it. So when we rotate this one, everything else rotates as well. But it doesn't break, pretty much. So let's call this lock L neck 1. No. And this would be lock L neck 2. There you go. So this is a different method. It's a bit cleaner, to be honest, because then you don't get this giant mess. But it's both methods are again valid, whatever rocks your boat. So let's do it again. Same method again. So grab the locator, snap it to the joint. This one. I'm gonna shrink it again and duplicate it. There you go. Okay, so first the locator, then the joint, and then parent constraint, then this controller, and then this locator and a parent constraint again, so they will all move. Perfect. And then locator, joint, point constraint, and then this one. Oh, first this one, and then this one, parent constraint. Let's see. There you go. It's all good. Rotates properly like it should, and when we rotate this one, it still works a-okay. Awesome. Now right now though, when I rotate this one, also the head moves. I don't really like it that much. So I'm gonna change this though. I'm gonna grab the control spine, and then my head should be in here. Yep, there it is. I'm just gonna drag it out. Just gonna drag it out like this. If I can actually. There it is. So it's now no longer parented. Just the joints for some reason. Let's see. Because it has an orient constraint. Yep, I'm gonna delete it. So now everything is still unconstrained again, except for these two, which is fine. This does because it's the parent of. So okay. Don't think we can actually prevent this. Ooh, that's annoying. That's actually really annoying. Oh well, let's orange constrain it again. I'll think of a way, and then again just parent it to this one, so everything's parented again. Okay, let's check it. Check. Okay, let's do the last one. Same method again. So we're gonna do the neck to the trapezium one. This one. Did I name these actually? No, I did not. Ooh, that's so bad. Or neck 1. There you go. This would be lock left trapezium 1, and then I'm gonna duplicate it so it becomes 2 already by itself, and gonna put it here. There you go. Might as well copy and paste this one straight away. Saves me time. Just change the number. Oh, I should really duplicate first. Fail. And 2. There you go. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. So let's check it here. First, the locator joint. This should be the point constraint, and this should be the parent constraint. Parent, and then this should be the parent constraint again, and then the control of the head to this locator. It gets a bit complicated as you can see, but it works fine. That's the downside of this. Can get pretty complicated quickly, but oh, that didn't work for some reason. Oh, because this one probably. Yeah. Oh, this isn't actually connected yet. Oh, but it's fine. We'll do that in a different episode probably. So, okay, let's do it the same here. So this should be the parent, the one where it starts. So parent constrained. This should be the point constraint. Point constraint. You should be parented constrained, and this should also be parent constrained. It's a new word, parent constrained. Let's check it, see if everything actually works. It does. That works, and that works. Nice. So everything works except for a couple of things that don't work yet, like these ones here. So I'm gonna go to my hierarchy menu. It's probably gonna be a mess in here, so let's find it out. Let's grab this one and hit F. Let's see. Oh, it's actually look quite nice. Okay, so you see here all the locators are there, and these are all the muscles. But I'm really looking for this one. Where are you? It's there. But this isn't linked to anything. It is linked to the master though. It should be at least, but it's not. Interesting. So why aren't you linked to the master controller? Even though you are. Weird. That's weird. Skipped. Oh, this is, oh, I'm stupid, sorry. This is the mouse controller. So this one. So clavicle to the pelvis controller. These two. That's it. I don't want to do the hands because I'm gonna get to that. Okay. Brilliant. We're almost done. Wow. Looking good. As you can see, it gets complicated pretty damn quickly to build a pretty advanced rig. So, okay. Let's do the eyes. You can do the eyes in two different methods. One that's very simple and one that's really complicated. Whatever you want to do, really. I'm gonna show you the complicated method because it's fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to create fleshy eyes. That's what it's called. What it means is that when you actually rotate your eyes here, is that your eyelids actually follow slightly. So when you move the eyes up, the eyelids go up as well, and this one goes up as well slightly. It's not by much, but at least it's something. So it's actually really important, and actually really helps with the believability of your rig. I mean, for a game character, this might be a little bit over the top. You don't probably need to do it. Unless you'll have like close-ups of the character's face, like this for example, then it would really help. But for like a movie or a cinematic, it's pretty much you need it. Period. There's not even question. You need it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. The basic version of it, because you can go a lot deeper, but that would take another hour for me to explain it. I'm not going to do that. So we're going to do the basic version, which means I'm going to grab my eye here, both the eyes, just one of them. This eye, there we go. I'm gonna hide everything except that eye. Like this. I actually shaped it a little bit more like an actual eye, but yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create 3 joints for the eyes. Which sounds weird, but we are. So we're gonna make one first. That will start straight in the middle. So I'm gonna hold V, and it ends there. There. Way too big, of course, so I'm gonna 0.1 it. This one as well, 0.1 it. It's not English, but I'm gonna 0.1 it. I'm gonna make sure that it's again centered. So I'm gonna hold V again and D and V this time, like that. So it's perfectly centered in the eye. So facing right, correct direction. It is perfect. So what you want to do with this one is that it just rotates up and down. I'm gonna reset my orientation so I can just rotate up and down, so the eye can, well, rotate in every direction possible, right? It's simple. So we're gonna call this one left eye 1. Let's call this aim 1, because we're gonna aim with this one. And let's copy paste this actually to the next one. Oh, and that will be 2. Okay, easy, right? So next up would be to duplicate this. I'm gonna hold Ctrl D. I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna rotate it slightly up. I'm gonna make sure that my character is probably around here, the eyelid. So I'm gonna keep like that, and I'm gonna call this one eyelid upper 1. This will be for the upper eyelid, as you probably can imagine. There you go. I'm gonna grab my left aim again, this one. I'm gonna duplicate it again. This time I'm gonna rotate it down for the lower eyelid. Eyelid lower 1 and 2. There you go. I need to make sure that my joints are actually set up correctly, so I'm gonna look at them. This one is way too high, so I'm gonna push it a little bit down, a little bit like this. I'm gonna stick it out a little bit, so I'm gonna grab this one and hold it and just push it out, so it actually overlaps the entire eyelid here. There you go. And same for this one. I'm gonna make sure that it actually pushes outward, and maybe a little bit more rotation, slightly like this. There you go. So these joints can actually influence the entire eyelid. You can add more if you want to. You can add 3 more around here, 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 4 more if you want to. But I'm gonna show you the simple method first. So what is next? Well, we need to make sure that when this one rotates, that the rest follows suit with like a small percentage off, like 50%. So we're gonna do the same as we did with the forearm twist. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go to my outliner for a second so I can find them again. So I'm gonna grab these and I'm gonna hide everything else for a minute. And I'm gonna go to my window node editor, and it's clear. It's clear. Maybe it's not clear yet. So I'm gonna add these. Add. You don't really need this one, but you could if you want to. Upper one as well. Add it. And this one as well. Add. There you go. So this one controls these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a node here. I'm going to hold my right mouse button. I'm going to say create node, utilities, and then multiply, divide 2 of them. There you go. Okay. I'm going to make sure that the X are correct. So I'm going to, I think it's Y. Yep. So this Y should control this Y. First I'm going to freeze these transformations. Freeze transformations. This one as well is already frozen. That's perfect. So okay, I'm gonna grab this one and again rotate Y to the input 1 Y. There you go. Then the upper eyelid, so output Y to rotate Y. And now when I rotate this one, it should do exactly the same. So I don't want that. So I'm gonna go to my multiply divide, and here I'm gonna type something like 0.3 maybe. So now when I rotate this one, it rotates by 0.3 or 30% of the previous one. Same thing here, rotate Y and put it into input 1 Y. Output Y, rotate Y. Again here, and then 0.3 again. There you go. So when this one rotates, these rotate by 30%. But it's just for Y, because you don't want them to go like this as well. You could if you want to, but this is just the cheap version of. So I'm gonna leave it like this, like that, see, it's quite simple, but then we need a controller for that eye, so we can actually control the rotation of the big one here. So it's actually not difficult, so I'm going to do 1, then I'm going to duplicate. I think I can't really duplicate everything. Let's see if you can actually duplicate special. Let's do a copy, duplicate input graph, duplicate special. See if this actually works. That'd be so cool. This is so cool. I didn't know that actually could work, but yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's make sure that these ones are actually set up correctly. So I'm gonna unhide everything. In this case it's not. So window outliner. It's probably this one. Aim 3. This one. This one and this one. Gotta make sure that it's centered. Like that again. There you go. So when I rotate this one, it should still work properly. And it does. Of course the names are wrong, so let's change it immediately actually. R aim 1. It's a bit boring, sorry. It happens. R aim 2. So this one. Nope. R1. This should be the same. Yep. Last but not least, there you go. Okay. So let's add controls to this. So what we need to do is we need first to create control as well. It's pretty easy. So we're going to create 2 circles. Just do it here, 1 here, and duplicate it 1 there. Let's make it smaller so it actually looks like an eye. 0.75. There you go. Gonna grab this one. Gonna make sure it's roughly in the middle of it or perfectly middle of it, and then push it out like that. But first, let's do the other one. So same thing here. Hold V. There you go. Grab this one and see if you can actually grab this one. Yep. Push it out like this. Awesome. Let's add one more, a bigger one. That controls both eyes again, so I'm going to create this new circle. Like this. I'm going to shrink it so it looks something like, I don't know what, but something something that looks weird. So I'm going to place it here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger actually, so it covers both of them. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, so we want these to be parented to this one, so I'm gonna select child and then parent and P. So when I move this one, everything else moves. There you go. Modify, freeze transformations. Again, this is controller. So now what we want is that the movement of this one controls the actual rotation of the aim joint. So this gets a little bit more weird. I'm going to add this one to the graph. So add graph, drop circle shape, and then grab the joint. I'm going to just do like this, outliner. So L aim, R aim, add them. Okay. So then this movement, up and down movement of all directions, should drive the rotation that corresponds to the actual axis. So first let's just try this. We're gonna grab the the output of the nerve circle, and you can see here there's a whole bunch of it, right? World matrix. But in this case we want to use translate because that's the actual movement. It says here as well. So translate. Let's just grab all translate and then input it into the rotate like this. So let's see what happens. So now when it rotates, it does not that much, right? It's slight. It's very slight. It's there, but it does almost nothing because of the because of the unit conversion. If we actually change the unit conversion here, let's say what's so smaller, then it would probably work. But we can also just add a multiplication in it again, as usual. So what we can do we need to do anyway, because down is up apparently. So we need to add a node, and again, utilities, multiply divide. Multiply divide. There, let's just add 2 of them straight away. There you go. It's easier. Like this. So we need to undo this node here, this one as well. Then we're going to input the multiply divide node. So I'm going to do translate, input 1, input 1. Then we're going to grab the output, and then put it into rotate. Now let's see what happens now. Okay, we probably need to divide it by a minus, because we need to invert the entire matrix. So minus 10 probably. So let's see if that actually works. Much better. See? Maybe a bit too much, but we could probably do this like this. Sweet. Let's do the same thing here. We could probably actually use this one here as well. So output, rotate. Let's check it. Perfect. You could also do for these ones that they actually control the rotation is fine as well. That works as well. So it's pretty much up to you what you prefer. By doing this, you have a bit more control, so you can make the character look weird and the eyes crooked. But it's up to you. I'm gonna do it like this. So okay, control I. This is then control left eye. Well, we don't use it actually, so actually we're gonna delete it. Since we don't use them, it's a waste of space. So let's add it here. Muscles. Adds. No, not muscles. Controls. Select objects. There you go. But it only moves up and down right now, which is really annoying. As you can see. So that's wrong. It actually does rotate, as you can see, but not properly. So this doesn't work, unfortunately, because we need to do a little bit differently apparently. I hope this would work, but it doesn't. My bad. Let's do it like this. Aim. This should work. No, it doesn't. I hoped it would have worked, but it apparently doesn't work. That's too bad. Okay. That's a shame. Let's undo this. So this probably still doesn't work. Perfect. Not sure why it's doing this, but oh, that's why. Aim constraint. There you go. Let's think of a different method. Should be aimed though, but I don't think it's actually working. I have no idea why this is happening. Oh, that's much better. Maybe we need to do this one. I'm gonna just try one thing. If it doesn't work, then we'll just move on. So this is okay. Let's do it like this. So this is the Z and Y. Okay, Z and Y. So when I move this one on X, it should match the Y rotation, the Z rotation of this one. Okay. So when I move this one to X, it should Y rotation, Z rotation. Yeah. Okay. So translate X should be rotate Y. Oh, wrong one. Oh, stupid. My bad. Translate X. Rotate Z. Okay, this works. Yep, this works. So it did work the first time. It just set up wrong. Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. Let's do it like this then. So this works now, and then we also need to do it for the movement Y translate into, I think, rotation Y. So undo this. Yep. So translate Y, rotate Y. First, going to check if everything works. Yes, this works fine. This works fine as well. So okay. Let's do it a little bit differently. So again, I'm going to add the node here. Create node. I'm going to create a whole bunch of them because we're going to need them. So multiply, divide, multiply, divide. Should be 2 of them. There it is. So what we need to do in this case, I'll delete everything. We're also going to add the other. I think I'll aim here. There it is. Going to add this one as well. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. So the movement X should control the rotation Z and Y. Okay, so we're going to grab the control here. Actually, we might as well. No. Let's do it like this. Okay. So I'm going to input the translate translate X through my multiply divide node. Okay, X in there into input Y, and then the output of X should be input into the rotate Z. Now when I grab this one, it's actually rotate. I'm going to multiply this by 10 so that this rotate actually, see, it actually rotates properly. Then I'm going to move the movement Y, translate movement, translate Y, my multiply divide node, and the output of Y I'm going to put it into rotate Y, like that. But oh, actually wrong. Output Y into rotate Y. So we had 2 nodes coming in and doing the same thing. But this I'm going to do -10 because this needs to be inverted. See, now it actually works properly. Like this. Awesome. Let's do the other one as well. So this one here. Probably gonna there you go. We can input the same figures here, so we can use this one again. So output here, output X. You can just click on here and actually opens up for you. So rotate Z. So this helps a lot actually. So output X should be into the rotate Z value. See here. And same here, I'm gonna multiply divide it. Output movement Y should be input into rotate Y. So output Y into rotate Y. So now everything should work. And it does. Brilliant. Safe. Alright. Leaves off with one thing, I think. There's controls for the fingers. I'm gonna do one, and then I'm gonna do the rest sometime else. So don't have to go through it all the time. So I'm gonna use a cone for this one. You don't have to, of course. You can also use something else, but I just like it. Actually, let's do this one, the nerve cone, because it's fancy. So let's do it like this. So then I'm gonna turn off my character. It's just a rig then, and then I'm gonna scale it down by a lot. Gonna make it a little bit more like a cone-ish shape. -90. Gonna place it over the actual finger itself. Gonna place it like here, over the hand, so something like this here maybe. It's way too big though, so not like that. Gonna make it smaller. So this will drive the finger rotation. I want it to drive the finger rotation. So when I rotate this, the finger bends. Let's do it here on the controller. There we go. Of course, you don't have to use this. You can also use a different method or a different control. It's fine. But I'm gonna use it like this. So I'm gonna hold D. I'm gonna snap it to my joint. So now the rotation is like this. Yeah, I'm gonna copy paste it, of course. I'm gonna snap it, and snap it. So all fingers have a different controller. Same for the thumb. I want to do this as well for the thumb. There. I want it to rotate like this, probably. So a little bit more like this. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna freeze transformation for all of them. Okay, and then I'm gonna make a set-driven key again. It's a little bit easier in my opinion, especially for fingers. So what I mean with that is, well, I'm just gonna show you. So I'm gonna grab this one here, and I wanted that I can rotate all the way down here and up here, so you can create extra finger bend. So what I can do is go to animation. Then under key, there's a whole bunch of stuff there, but they added. But you can also go to set-driven key and set. So this is the driver, because I want this one to drive my finger again. So then the driven would be this, and that would be rotate Z. So rotate Z right here. I should actually rename this. So this is control L, I think index finger. There you go. So reload driver, rotate Z. There you go, rotate Z. Okay, so now we can hit key and everything turns purple. But you also do is select all fingers like this. A little bit easier. So load driven, rotate Z, and then hit key, and then you can go all the way down if you want to, something like here, maximum value. So let's say minus 45 is the maximum value we're gonna get. Then we're gonna select all joints again, and again hit rotate. In this case, maximum value you want it to be something like this, maybe, and then hit key again. Key. Then you can start rotating this one back, and you see what happens. It starts to unfold like this. So you can hit 0 here, and it's back in its original position. I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna go, say, minus 25%, well, 25% all the way up, because your fingers can also bend the opposite direction. So then I'm gonna select them all again and rotate outwards, something like this. Maximum value, and then again hit key. So now this controls the nice solid movement of that joint. Now what's really cool is that you can also limit how far it can actually rotate. You can actually set it in here in the attribute editor. Limit information, you can actually set the maximum rotation. In this case it's set. So maximum rotation is minus 45. You can't go any higher than this. And upper one is I think 25, so maximum number is 25. So then it can't rotate further than 25 degrees and further like this. Actually helpful, so your the person who's doing the animation doesn't break your rig. So it's a bit of a cheeky trick, so you can use it. That's it for now. Next time we're gonna finish it, but we're gonna clean it up a little bit where needed to, and then we're gonna start skinning it. In the meanwhile, I'm just gonna finish the all the finger stuff. So next time we'll do the skin binding, and then that's the part where we start crying, because that's really annoying. So I hope to see you again next time.